I know, but you can see down here. That's what
Universal Studios Hollywood is constantly adding new attractions and offering special events. Just about 16 celebrity TV fans, the special booth in the entertainment center.
Down, please. All the way down.
Please step away from the tram. My name is Shelley. I am your studio guide. You guys having a great afternoon so far? Well, it's going to get better, let me tell you. Because we have one of the most amazing drivers Universal has ever seen. His name is Bob. Let's give him a big old hand. Yeah, Bob! Woo! Okay, now I'll give you your cue when you have to make noise, okay? Now, make noise. Yay! Okay, good deal. I've got a live audience. That's great. Now, on behalf of MCA, we're welcoming you to Universal Studios Hollywood. Before we get going, I have some safety rules we're going to go over very quickly. First of all, there's no smoking in the tram. Please keep your arms and legs inside the tram, and please remain seated while the tram is in motion. If you have an emergency, you lose your hat, lose your camera, lose your child over the side, there's an emergency cord that runs right down the middle of the tram. Pull on that, we'll stop the tram for any reason that you need anything. Wave to the people, hello, hello. And also, if you have any litter, throw it on the floor. Because we would rather have it on the floor, we'll clean it up when we get back and put your foot on it so it doesn't fly out anywhere. And the tram will experience loud noises, sudden tram movements, and the possibility of getting wet. It may be too intense for really young children, so be prepared, because today you're not only going to see the world of filmmaking, you're gonna feel it. Okay. Everything on the right side of the left side of the tram, excuse me, will be considered the driver's side, and everything on the right side of the tram will be considered my side. For instance, on my side, we are looking at Building 480. That's our technical building. Our technical building has more lumber than any place you've ever seen. In our lumber yard, in our technical building, we use enough lumber in 1 year to build a small town for 20,000 people. That's a lot of lumber. And of course, we recycle everything. That's also where the kit car from the Knight Rider series, the talking car, that's where it was designed and built in our technical building. Also off to my side, you are looking at the Arthur Company, one of the largest independent production companies in Hollywood. The Arthur Company has a show on the air right now called FBI, that is the Arthur Company's production. Now, as we round this curve, off to my side and the driver's side, we're going to be passing by what looks like warehouses. 2 guesses as to what they really are, and the first 3 guesses as to what they really are, and the first 2 don't count. Okay, the suspense is killing me. They're warehouses. But warehouses with a twist. Because not only do they house our lighting, electrical, and sound equipment, they also can be used for gymnasiums, penitentiaries, anything that is industrial. We can come right back here to this part of our back lot and shoot it. And right now, we're in our facades area. Facades is a French word meaning false front. Look at these buildings. They look like they're made out of stone and brick, right? Not. Fiberglass and chicken wire is all that's holding these buildings together. And right now, we're going to the future, ladies and gentlemen. To the future, that is. Ladies and gentlemen, you may recognize this clock tower. From the Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3 movies, this is the infamous clock tower where Doc Brown, played by Christopher Lloyd, tried to harness that bolt of lightning to send Marty McFly, played by Michael J. Fox, back to the future. And in the Back to the Future films, of course, I went through 3 separate time periods. The 50s, the 80s, and then the year 2015. So for the 1950s, they wanted it to look like a small town, so they kept this grassy area in that you're seeing now. And then for the 1980s, they had to upgrade it a little bit. So they covered the grass and they put in a parking lot. And then for the year 2015, of course, they had no idea what 2015 would look like, but they thought we might be a little more environmentally conscious. So they put a pond in instead. And then when they finished shooting, they put the grass back. As we cross the street, I want you to take a look at the roadway. See on my side and the driver's side how it curves in the distance? That's to give you the illusion that it continues on when it really stops short of that curve. And sometimes we need to have more control over lighting and sound inside a soundstage. We have done that inside this soundstage. Now have your cameras ready. Some strange things have been going on in here. Watch the monitors. Smell bananas in there. You have just had a confrontation with old King Kong himself. King Kong stands over 30 feet tall and weighs over 13,000 pounds. That's 1.5 tons. 600 pounds of which is nothing but synthetic hair. Way back in 1933, old King Kong made his debut. But he was a little guy. Made his debut with an actress named Fay Ray. He was only about 18 inches tall. And then in 1976, boy, he made a comeback, and I do mean a big comeback, with a little-known actress named Jessica Lange, who now has her very own production company right here on the lot at Universal. See these things covered in black tarp? One says Coach's Laundry Room. Well, Coach is one of the shows that we shoot here at Universal that stars Craig T. Nelson. And those are called wild walls underneath that tarpaulin. When they are ready for Coach's Laundry Room, they take the set piece to the soundstage, they take the tarp off, they unfold it, they'll put a couple of washing machines in as props. Then, when they're finished shooting the scene in the laundry room, they'll take the washing machines out, fold it back up, and bring it here to our back line. That way we can save all the space that we can. Now off to my side, you are looking at one of the oldest bridges in Hollywood. Very old bridge, built in 1915. Yeah, it's a pretty old bridge, all right. We're not going to go across it. We just want to give you a photo opportunity to shoot it. This bridge was built in 1915 for a movie that they did here called The Cavalry, a silent film. And it is shown. Bob, what? We're going over the bridge. The tour. Everybody, lift your feet up. No, it's not. Hurry it. Lift your feet up. Yeah, you want it. No, not that photo spot. Yeah, you want a good photo spot, eh? Well, you got it, Curtis. You're our driver, Bob. Let's get Bob ahead. Yeah. This is where you all make noise. Okay. The bridge was built in 1972. It's on a hydraulic system. And as we swing around, you'll be able to watch it reset itself. See, it's going back up. There it goes. Oh, and those beams, by the way, have names. That's sunbeam, moonbeam, and Jim beam.
That's a joke just for the adults, not for the kiddies.
Now on my side, ladies and gentlemen, and on the driver's side, you are looking at our old greens department. This is where we used to have our staff of 50 full-time gardeners. Whenever we needed gardeners, we would come right back here. If we needed a lawn laid or just a potted plant on the desk for filming, they would come right back here and get what they needed. But look and see how it's still a mini wilderness in the midst of our sound stages. That's because some of the first movies we did here were westerns. They frequently had cowboys galloping through the underbrush in this part of our backlot, which is why they didn't develop it. They wanted to save it for posterity's sake. And then in the 30s, in the teens and 20s, we did westerns that got Universal started. And in the 30s, we did monster movies. Frankenstein, Dracula, The Wolfman. All those movies were shot here at Universal and saved the studio from going under during the Depression. And in the 40s, they had Abbott and Costello. Great comedy duo. And they matched them up with our movie monsters. Then you had Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. Abbott and Costello meet the Mummy. Take a look off to the driver's side. You can see the big kitty cats that are being trained for Circus of the Stars, which will be on CBS in November. And then in the 50s, ladies and gentlemen, Universal did serial comedies. We did Ma and Pa Kettle series with Marjorie Main and Percy Gilbert, as well as Francis the Talking Mule with Donald O'Connor. And at the top of the 60s, top of the decade, we did a movie called Spartacus, starring Sir Laurence Olivier and Kirk Douglas. The road we're traveling on now, ladies and gentlemen, is the Appian Way, where they dressed 10,000 UCLA college students up as Roman soldiers and marched them down this road as though they were going off tour. Hey Bob, I smell rain. Oh no. Don't you guys smell it? Smell the rain? That's because it's raining. At least on the driver's side. It's not raining on my side. Those of you in the third and fourth car, aim your cameras at the hill and there could be a little water coming your way. Oh no. Oh God. Hope I don't get the camera wet. Oh, watch out for that tree back there. We make rain here at Universal by piping water up through the sprinklers that you see on tops of the buildings. We want the rain to look heavier, we add milk to the water. That was 10,000 gallons of water at the top of that hill. When the tram passes by, the floodgates open, and the water gets recycled and goes back up to the top for the next tram. And that tree's made out of dogwood. Watch. Sit up, boy. Sit up. Come on, sit up for me. There you go. How'd I know it was made out of dogwood? By its bark. Okay, that's where you make noise now. That's your cue. Oh, thank you. That's the special effects was used in a Chevy Chase movie called Fletch Lives, and Chevy Chase did another movie for us here at Universal with Steve Martin and Martin Short called Three Amigos. Down right here in this part of our old back lot called Old Mexico. You might also recognize it from Janet Jackson's music video Escapade, which was shot right there in Old Mexico. But right now it's time for my favorite part of the back lot. Boots and saddles, partners, because we are now entering the Old West. Hee-haw! Yes, indeed. I can smell the BBQ from here. This is Six Boys, Texas, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look around you. 6 different streets that converge from 6 different directions. In 1915, our founder, Carl Laemmle, shot 200 movies a year here. First of all, they were short films. They were only about 20 minutes long. Second of all, they were silent. So we would have 6 different movie companies shooting at the same time, because each of the streets looks like a different town. He would invite the public to come and watch him shoot the movies. And he'd say, come and cheer the good guys and boo the bad guys and have a box lunch. All for 25 cents. Oh, those were the days. Yes, off to the driver's side is the line of state signs from Back to the Future, and off to my side, that large red paddle wheel is from a 1953 film called Riverboat Gambler, starring Tyrone Powers. The Army vehicles? Well, that's from MacArthur, starring Gregory Peck. And this body of water off to my side is not very impressive until I tell you what it was used for. It was the entire Pacific Ocean for McHale's Navy, starring Tim Conway and Ernest Borgnine. There is a rumor that they may have left some underwater mines in there, but I haven't seen any. Uh-oh. One underwater mine coming up. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're traveling through the Red Sea. If you have any belongings, pick them up off the floor. You're going to get a great sea level picture. If you look off to the driver's side, you can see the lagoons and the creature from the Black Lagoon movies, as well as the swamp where they pulled the car out of the movie in Psycho. Also, ladies and gentlemen, off to my side, you can see this large ark. This ark is from Fletch Lives, the Bible land sequence starring Chevy Chase. And these elevated train tracks on my side, that was what made our back lot look like old Chicago in the 1973 film, The Sting. Those are directly from The Sting. And look off to the driver's side, ladies and gentlemen, behind that chain link fence. That's one of what we call our prop graveyards. You see they have all sorts of gas lights and street lamps and telephone booths. And building 487, well, that's our prop building. We have over 5 million props stored in building 487. And right now we're entering Spartacus Square. Of Roman soldiers. Right here. This is history. We didn't do that movie. Remember when I told you they used 10,000 UCLA college students as Roman soldiers, as extras? Well, there they are, cheering Sir Lawrence Olivier, and he's standing on the steps and they're going, ah, ah. They left their watches on, as well as their sneakers. Yes, yes, they left their watches on. If you rent the movie Spartacus, you can see they all have wristwatches, glinting in the sun. And of course, it was too late to change it. They'd already shot the footage. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're entering Little Europe. It was built for a 1929 film called All Quiet on the Western Front. Won Universal its first Oscar, and 50 years later, we won another Oscar for Best Picture for another anti-war film. It was called The Deer Hunter in 1979. But you might recognize this area from another film. Remember City Slickers starring Billy Crystal? The Running of the Bulls in Pamplona, Spain, Los Angeles, California. This is where they did The Running of the Bulls. Look at the streets. They look like cobblestones, right? Not. It's cement with a cookie cutter. They take a cookie cutter and they press the stones out, and then they take a sandblaster and rub it over. Makes it look like it's been laid down for about 100 years. And off to my side, ladies and gentlemen, this is our Court of Miracles, where every famous movie monster has made an appearance. Right here, our Court of Miracles. It was built in 1919 for Lon Chaney film, The Miracle Man. The Phantom of the Hunchback of Notre Dame, excuse me, sipped from that very fountain. And you can recognize the Court of Miracles in two recent upcoming productions. First of all, in Beverly Hills 90210, Brenda Goes to Europe. She takes a holiday to France. They shot extensively in our Court of Miracles, as well as above, upstairs in our entertainment center. We have a place called Streets of the World that looks like a Parisian courtyard. They shot extensively there as well. That'll probably be on in the next week or so. And a movie that opened today, starring another Beverly Hills 90210 alumni, that's Luke Perry, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, shot extensively in the Court of Miracles. I'm not kidding. That is the name of the film, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You might also recall it from an episode of Moonlighting. Remember Moonlighting with Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis? They did an episode called the Atomic Shakespeare episode, where they did a takeoff on the Taming of the Shrew, and it was all shot at the Court of Miracles. Boy, look at the size of these phones. Boy, howdy. Boy, those are some phones there. Wow, look at those phones. Those phones are from The Incredible Shrinking Woman, starring Lily Tomlin. The stagecoaches from one of our television westerns we did here called Wagon Train. And we're famous for some of our other television shows, such as, guess which one this is? Still the Party Train. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Universal produced Miami Vice. We also produced this television show. Magnum P.I. That's right. Tom Selleck belonged to Universal until, of course, the series went off the air. But we produced that show as well. And you might recall this one, although it's a little old, VAT. And those aren't all the shows that Universal has produced, but those are some of the ones that certainly have a lot of recognition. And some of our other current shows, the Emmy nominations just came out about last week, I believe. And Northern Exposure is a show that we have produced here at Universal. It is a Universal TV show. They garnered 17 Emmy nominations. That's quite a few for dramatic series. As well as Law and Order, another television show that we produce at Universal. Murder, She Wrote certainly garnered an Emmy nomination for Angela Lansbury. And so did Quantum Leap, and this Bell X-2 aircraft that you're looking at is from the pilot episode of Quantum Leap starring Scott Bakula, and it garnered quite a few Emmy nominations. Emmy nominations. This upside down aircraft that you're looking at on the driver's side is from a television show that Steven Spielberg produced about 3 or 4 years ago called Amazing Stories. That's what that's from. Now, every now and then, ladies and gentlemen, we have an opportunity to visit what's called a hot set. A hot set means that they are ready for filming inside. And the crew has taken a break on this particular set. It's for a television movie called Winnebago, about a family that travels all around the country. And the filming schedule for TV movies is different than from films that you see in the theater, because a TV movie only has a 30-day shooting schedule, whereas a film may have 3 months to 6 months as a shooting schedule. So this movie is about a family traveling across country in Winnebago, and they wind up in San Francisco, coast to coast, they're traveling. And this movie set is the only 2-level set in Hollywood. They have built a Metropolitan Street scene above and a subway station down below. And it's really quite fascinating. The minute we get the green light, we'll be going in to see it. We always have tours here at Universal, 364 days a year. We have tours here. And usually when they are filming, hi David, hi, wave everybody, hi. They're in charge of planning and development. They're the guys who put Backdraft, our newest attraction, up, as well as the one we're building now, and it's called Back to the Future at the Ride. Here we go. Now take a look at the details, ladies and gentlemen. San Francisco, it's like home. Take a look around you. There are phone books underneath the new. That's nothing, ladies and gentlemen. We have miles, we have a lot of places. Well, maybe you better hang on. No, look behind you in the driver's side. not something you see every day unless you're me or Bob. Off to my side, you're looking at the stable where we house the horses for our Wild West Stud Show. And that used to be the home to Francis the Talking Mule for many years. How do we get Francis to talk? Well, we put peanut butter on the roof of his mouth. We tried to get the peanut butter off, his mouth would move. And then an actor named Chill Wills would dub in his voice. And speaking of chill, we're entering Amathiata now, home of Universal's biggest hit, Jaws.
Oh, there he is.
Uh-oh. There's my friend George K. out there fishing, but George, I think you ought to get out of the water.
Oh, no.
George, get out of the water now. George, it's not safe there. Please get out of the water. This is not a good thing.
Help! Turn it on.
Boy, he sure had a lot of guts to go fishing there, didn't he?
Oh, gross.
I don't think you folks ought to worry about a thing, because we have put bait in this yellow buoy that you're looking at. And in this yellow buoy, hopefully the shark will take the bait and leave this tram alone. Oh, hang on. After Steven Spielberg's attorney. I don't know, sharks attorneys? And he's the only shark in Hollywood who can do the backstroke. Now, have you seen Murder, She Wrote? Starring Angela Lansbury, you know the road she bicycles down in the opening credits? This is it. This is the road. This is Cabot Cove, Maine, ladies and gentlemen. Look off to the driver's side, you can see that Jaws Lake doubles as Cabot Cove, Maine. That's the Cabot Cove Community Building you're looking at. And she starred on Broadway in a show called Mame. And she also starred on Broadway in a musical called Sweeney Todd with Lynn Carreyrou. And here at Universal, we're known for our movie musicals too. Such as The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, coming up on my side. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, starring Dolly Parton and Burt Reynolds. The backyard, incidentally, is where Jessica Fletcher does her gardening on Murder, She Wrote. The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas is what we call a practical set. You can shoot inside that set as well as outside that set. A big movie star here for quite a number of years. His name was Vincent Price. And Vincent Price did his first movie when he was probably 29, 30 years old. And he called his agent and he said, I never want to do another horror film. Well, it's a good thing the guy had to eat, because he wound up doing over 100 horror movies in his career. That's a lot of horror films, let me tell you. And speaking of horror, off to the driver's side, you're looking at the original Psycho house. Look at how small it seems, right? Sure seems tiny, doesn't it? That's because Alfred Hitchcock had it built on 3/4 scale to make it seem more imposing when shot from below. It would look larger if it were built smaller on film. And you can learn more about Alfred Hitchcock in the World of Cinemagic, which is downstairs at our studio center. They will show you in depth how they shot the shower scene. It's pretty fascinating. And now to my side, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at the largest backdrop in the world. It was backdrop. It was built for a movie called Jaws the Revenge, starring Lorraine, Gary, and Michael Caine. And the film was primarily shot in the Bahamas. When they wanted more control over lighting and sound, they came here and painted that backdrop the same color blue as the sky in the Bahamas, tinted the water with dye the same color blue as the sea in the Bahamas. And then you see these big black contraptions here. Those are wave machines. They put those in water and they made the water choppy. And that worked out really well, except for one thing. You know, Michael Caine is very fair-skinned and fair-haired, and every time he fell into the water, he came out blue. Well, it looks like a great swimming hole, doesn't it? And here at Universal, it's very easy to go from sea level to 12,000 feet above it. Uh-oh.
Bob, it says the road is icy up ahead. We're going to take the tunnel, but there's danger signs all over the tunnel. Bob, it's blinking danger. Bob says it'll be all right. How many of you think you're not going to come out of the dangerous ice tunnel that's prone to avalanches? Well, I guess we'll just have to see. Don't make any noise, though. Oh, no! Uh-oh. Bless you, Bob.
Margarita already. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a weird
That ice tunnel was used in an episode of The $6 Million Man. Remember the $6 Million Man with Lee Majors? He had to chase Bigfoot through the ice tunnel. They had to shoot it over and over and over and over again. 29 times they had to shoot it. Because Lee Majors would take 2 steps, get dizzy, and fall down. Which set him up for his next series. The Fall Guy. Okay. Off to my side, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get a great view of some of our 420 acres, as well as Warner Brothers Studio, which are in the Tram building, San Fernando Valley, and the San Gabriel Mountains. This is also the first view that E.T. the extraterrestrial ever had when he first landed on Earth. Now, way back in 1915, when our founder Carl Limley bought the studio with the 420 acres on it, it had a working chicken ranch on it. And he didn't know if he was going to make any money off the movie business. I mean, nobody was doing it except him and one other guy on the East Coast. That was Thomas Edison. So, remember I told you you'd have the public come in and watch him shoot westerns? On their way out the door, he'd sell them some eggs to make sure he got some of his money back. Up past the chain link fence on my side is the A-Team van. And some other picture cars we have here at Universal. to the driver's side, you're looking at the artist entrance for the Universal Amphitheater, where K.D. Lang will be presenting a concert tonight and tomorrow. In September, Ray Charles will be at the amphitheater, as well as Kenny Loggins. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for you to synchronize your watches. We are now driving by the construction site for Back to the Future, the ride, coming in June 1993. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Back to the Future, the ride. We already have a Back to the Future, the ride at Universal Studios, Florida. And it is the most amazing ride you've ever been on in your life. You can get in your very own DeLorean with Doc Brown as your guide, and he will take you from the Ice Age to the future. And we will be opening June 1993. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're crossing underneath our Starway, which is what you all took to get down to our studio center. And off to my side, you're going to get a great look at some of the 35 sound stages we have in our studio center. And in one of those sound stages is Backdraft, our newest attraction. Very hot, very exciting, very amazing attraction. Next door to Backdraft is the World of Cinemagic, where you have the Harry and the Henderson sound effects show, the Back to the Future special effects stage, and the magic of Alfred Hitchcock. Up the block from that is Lucy, a tribute to Lucille Ball, as well as AT&T Presents, a futuristic look at the movies. And next door to AT&T Presents is the E.T. Adventure, which is not just for little kids, but it's for adults of all ages. The E.T. Adventure. It's a lot of fun. And upstairs at our entertainment center, if you take the Starway all the way back up, that's where all our live shows are. The Animal Actor Stage, the Wild 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 West Stunt Show, the Back to the Future Special Effects Stage. Oh, I'm sorry. That was wrong. The Star Trek Adventure, the Miami Vice Action Spectacular, as well as the Beetlejuice Graveyard Review, which is a lot of fun. And they also have two great restaurants upstairs, Tony Roma's and Victoria Station. And as a courtesy to the people working in these production offices, I'm going to be off the mic for just a second. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have been great. Let's give Bob, our driver, a great big hand for getting us back here safely. Yeah, Bob. Woo! This great big noise. Yeah. My name is Shelley. I have been your studio guide. And as we say in Hollywood, we'll see you in the movies. Thank you, guys. Take all your belongings and be sure you go to the rear of this tram that is parked next to us. Please exit to the rear of the tram. Thank you.